Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today we're just doing a very casual sit down video. I kind of didn't know what to film, so I truly went on to ChatGPT and I said, is there a tag I can do? Because I have no idea what to film. And of course, ChatGPT delivered. So we're gonna do a quick tag, and it's just like a get to know me video. It might not even say that it's a tag. It's just gonna be about like get to know me as a second-time mom. So there's going to be questions about motherhood and postpartum probably, and children and motherhood and how I'm changing and evolving. So hopefully you enjoy. The first question is, I have my phone here if I'm looking down. How was your second pregnancy been different from your first? I think they're very similar, I have to say. I am more tired in my third trimester this time around, because I am running after a toddler and physically I'm bigger. I've gotten bigger faster, if that makes sense. So I remember with my first pregnancy, we didn't even announce to anyone that I was pregnant until about 20 weeks. And this time around, I remember looking at myself at 20 weeks and I was like, there's no way I could have waited this long. So those are kind of the only like physical changes. Mentally, I would say the pregnancy felt like it's gone faster up until this third trimester. I'm like 34 weeks pregnant now, so these last few weeks of pregnancy feel like it's like molasses, so slow. And yeah, but the baby's gonna be here the baby's gonna be here very soon, so we're very excited about that. What's one thing you're doing differently this pregnancy? One thing, I have so many things. Well, first thing is that I'm eating sushi, drinking raw milk, and not being so crazy about the studies that are out there. I take everything with a grain of salt because you never know who's funding these various studies. Truly, I've never gotten food poisoning or been sick from sushi in the past, non-pregnant, or drinking raw milk. So I'm not eating sushi every single day, but I do have to say in my first trimester I ate it a lot because that's all I wanted, and I gave that to myself and I was completely fine. Of course, always make sure your sushi's from a reliable place. Don't buy it at a gas station. So that's the advice I gave myself this time around. Number 3 is, what was your reaction when you found out that you were pregnant? I was shocked. I was shocked this time around, very surprised. We weren't planning to get pregnant, we just did. We weren't trying, I guess, actively, I should say. However, I wanted to get pregnant this year. I just was thinking like in the second half of the year, and I got pregnant I think in January or February this year. So I was very surprised, and in a good way. How are you preparing for postpartum this time around? Very differently, very differently than I prepared, or actually I didn't prepare my first time around. I really prepared for the baby the first time around. I had everything you needed under the sun for the baby, the different size clothing and diapers and this pillow, that pillow, crib, bassinet, whatever, but I didn't have anything prepared for me for postpartum. And this time around, I have done like my due diligence researching what I need, from like having meals in my freezer to support from my family to lactation consultants that are going to be available for me and have the same, like, I guess, values as me. So I have been preparing rigorously, I would say, for postpartum this time versus preparing for the baby. Next question is, what is your favorite and least favorite part of being pregnant? To be honest with you, I like being pregnant because I do have autoimmune issues and they go away in pregnancy. So that's my favorite part. And my least favorite part, I think it's now at the end. I am getting bigger, like in my belly, and it's just difficult to move around, to do things. Like I was doing the dishes and I can't like reach the faucet because my belly's in the way, so I can't get closer to the counter. How has being pregnant affected your parenting style with your first child? I don't know if this is a style, but I think I've definitely been more patient because I just can't do certain things. I can't just pick up my son and like move him from point A to B if we're out somewhere, because I physically can't do that. So it just taught me to be a little bit more patient and just give him the opportunity to correct himself if he can, or me staying patient next to him until he's able to listen to me, or we come to some kind of understanding. You guys, I don't know why every time I film a sit down video, I yawn so much. Like it feels like I haven't slept for 3 days, but I don't know what it is. As soon as I turn my camera on and I'm reading or I'm talking, I'm yawning and yawning and yawning. What is that? What does that mean? The next question is, do you have any guilty mom moments from this pregnancy? Truly, I don't. I actually am giving myself so much space, so much grace, so much like kindness during this time, because I'm doing the best that I can. I'm growing a baby. I'm taking care of another toddler. I'm taking care of myself. So absolutely not. I really don't think moms should have mom guilt around that, because you're doing so much and you're doing the best you can. How do you balance taking care of yourself, your toddler, and being pregnant? It's really hard. I think basic needs come first. So like literally feeding yourself, bathing yourself and your toddler, right? Making food. And I don't overcommit myself to things. Like if I want to stay home on a weekend, I stay home. I don't need to have a full schedule of stuff to do. What's one thing you're most looking forward to in the newborn phase? Oh gosh, newborn phase is truly really hard for me, because I had a hard time first time postpartum. So I think appreciating it more this time around, because it does go fast, and as difficult as it is, just knowing that this baby is gonna like be so much bigger and it's gonna have a personality, and like in the blink of an eye, just being there and tending to the baby. What advice would you give to someone preparing for their second baby? I don't know. The only thing that comes to mind is just giving yourself grace and space, and probably having support around. I think it's really difficult doing it alone, 1, 2, 3, I don't know how many kids you can do it with, but asking for help, asking for support, like anywhere you can is a good way to prepare, because that will make you feel good, which will probably have a more positive aspect in your pregnancy. What's your biggest fear going into labor this time? I don't know if I have a fear of going into labor. For me, my first labor was very quickly, and I did end up having a C-section, but I had a really, really good experience. So I guess I just don't want it to be like this 48-hour labor like other people have, which I don't think I will have that, knowing how my first went. So I don't have any fears like that. I just want to make sure, everything is good with me and the baby. What's in your hospital bag for baby number 2 that wasn't there for your first? Probably food. I didn't bring any food with me the first time around. So food and meals and like bone broth to really support me after birth. What's your toddler's thoughts on becoming a big sibling? He is so excited. He talks about the baby all the time. We like have this book about like getting a new baby into the family, and he asks to read that every night. So I think he's really excited, and I can't wait to see how that plays out. I think that's like a mom's biggest like emotional thing when they see 2 kids together. It's incredible. How has your personality, not your personality, how has your personal style changed with this pregnancy? I honestly don't think it's changed. It's hard for me to find anything to wear except for comfortable clothes, so I just go towards those. And especially now in my 3rd trimester, I'm like wearing big shirts, sweatshirts, and like sweatpants or leggings. That's all I'm wearing, or shorts. And the last question is, what's one thing you wish people knew about being a second-time mom? Oh gosh, I'm not yet fully a second-time mom, but I would say, again, as the same advice I think I would give a first-time mom, you don't really know until you are in it. So you don't know what pregnancy is going to be like for you with a toddler. You don't know what pregnancy is going to be like for you with an older child if you have one, or a baby if you have one. So you just kind of figure it out. So I think that's the best advice, is like, you can ask for advice, but take everything with a grain of salt, because everybody's so different. Every pregnancy is so different. I have friends that had polar opposites in terms of pregnancy experience with first, second, sometimes having a better experience with their first, sometimes having a better experience with their second. So it's just until you're in it, you don't know. And that's like motherhood in general. So those are all the questions, and thank you so much for watching. If you're pregnant, I hope you're having a great pregnancy. If you are going to be pregnant soon, congratulations. And if this helps you in any way, thank you again for being here, and I'll see you in my next video.